Since we started our education from primary to higher studies, we have been familiar with assessment. As students, sometimes we may not like it, but as a teachers, assessment is a necessity.
The traditional assessment is based on the collating of data resulting for exam and tests prepared by the teachers or the application of standardized tests that often focus the students' ability of memorizing and repetition.
For example, the teacher is going to evaluate students and give a note and a number to measure their knowledge. And the teacher focuses on the mistakes to see how to improve with the student and what to reinforce.
Alternative assessment. The alternative assessment involves new and different ways to know if students are learning by focusing on the process but not only on the final product. It makes students motivated and inspired to discover their skills. There are numerous activities that we can use as alternative assessment. For instance, we have projects. Those can be applied in any subject since it could take a lot of time. The projects allow to assess the process of creation and the feedback is constant. Interviews. Interviews focus on role plays in which students are able to develop their different skills and in which they can interact with real-life situations.
Personally, from our experience as students of modern languages, we agree that the alternative assessment encourages us more and does not stress us as much as traditional exams usually do. So, we believe that at least in the field of languages, the alternative assessment is the best in terms of feeling less pressure and where we can have a creative performance in each of our skills. But at the same time, we also consider that the two types of assessment complement each other and both determine whether the objectives are being met or not.
We asked some students and teachers of the La Gran Colombia University which kind of assessment they prefer and now according to their experiences.
Let's see what the students answered.
How do you feel when your teachers assess you?
Well, when my teacher assesses me, I tend to feel kind of anxious and nervous, but I think that is common because, we have been taught that an exam is something that causes you that kind of feelings. But I'm not feeling nervous because I don't know, it's just the word exams that somehow punch you in your face, so that's what makes me feel in that way.
¿Crees que el proceso de evaluación es importante en tu proceso de aprendizaje?
Yo considero que sí es importante. Sí es importante en tanto está marcando los derroteros pedagógicos y los lineamientos en cuanto a contenidos. Es importante por eso, porque es perentorio saber, por ejemplo, en qué punto del aprendizaje vamos y hacia dónde vamos, hacia dónde dirigir ciertos esfuerzos. Entonces, básicamente, creo que sí es fundamental hacer un ejercicio de evaluación, pero que no esté basado, vuelvo al punto de la presión permanente, sino que sea constructivo. Es decir, yo cómo puedo hacer para evidenciar ciertas falencias o ciertos, o ciertas dificultades que pueda tener un estudiante y cómo yo puedo hacer ajustes que sean propicios para que su desarrollo en cuanto a la adquisición de conocimiento sea efectiva, ¿no? Porque finalmente lo que pasa con la evaluación es que empiezas a categorizar. Finalmente al docente puede que le diga quién es bueno y quién es malo. Es sencillamente eso. Usted me sirve, usted no me sirve. Fin de la historia. Usted está preparado, usted no está preparado. Y la acumulación de ese capital intelectual es lo que hace que haya una apertura a oportunidades en la vida, a puertas, a semilleros de investigación, a escritura de artículos. No está tan bien, me parece a mí. Es decir, como que valoremos de alguna manera el sentido práctico de la educación desde unas miradas mucho más amplias.
Do you know some types of assessment?
Yes, I know the formative, the summative, the diagnostic, and I just know those three.
And which ones do you prefer when you are evaluated?
I really like the diagnostic one because, it tends to be implemented at the beginning of every course. So in that way, I can know if my knowledge before to go in deep in that course. So I really like that one, and I, as a teacher, I also have applied that one to some of my students because, in that way we can we can make some changes or implement some new tools, strategies. So I really like that one. At the end of every course, I really like, I don't like to do like an exam with a sheet with some questions and some answers. I really like those assessments that facilitate you the possibility to prove that you know something in a project, in a report, in something that you can somehow to create a material that shows that you have learned something, and not something that is just somehow testing if you were able to learn or to memorize an amount of material or knowledge.
Okay, thank you so much, Alejandro.
Thank you to you.
Now, let's see what the teachers answer.
Hello, my name is Hernan Gomez. I am a teacher at Universidad La Gran Colombia in the program of Modern Languages. I have been working in this university for 4 years, and I am teacher at different levels of English, pre-intermediate and advanced, and also in language acquisition theories.
Okay, thank you so much. So the first question is, talking about your classes, which kind of assessment do you implement?
I implement different types of assessment. Most of it has to do with the process that is going on during classes. Like every class, something is assessed, even if it is not given a specific grade. The assessment also includes feedback, and that's one of the most important things I focus on, which is on the feedback from the students. But talking about grades specifically, I try to follow a very specific model that includes receptive skills in my English classes, productive skills, and exam, which is the one that at the end tells me how has been the progress of the students.
From your point of view, which assessment support students to develop better their skills?
Of course, alternative assessment. Why? Because alternative assessment is reflective. Is how to say that? It's possible to be applied in multiple settings. And also because it is formative. The students have the possibility to assess themselves, but not only in terms of performance, but also in terms of how knowledge, skills, everything they can construct in a learning process builds their identity, their subjectivity, their life project, and what they can do with all of those elements.
Do you consider that alternative assessment could encourage the students, and why?
Yes, definitely. I think so. Everything that is alternative is good, I think, in education, because we are used to having always traditional things, right? So when you bring on like some kind of alternative assessment that can change a little bit the way that students are understanding the way they are assessed, that's definitely something that can have a positive effect on them.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Taking into account these sources, we could analyze and say that students feel stressed and pressure when they are assessed with traditional methods, since it involves more memorization, and for that, they express the importance of using both types of evaluations. Additionally, teachers claim that both traditional and alternative assessment methods must be in the learning process, since those are a complement to know how the learning process is going on.
In conclusion, Alternative assessment gives the opportunity to motivate students and helps them develop critical thinking, creativity, and innovation to develop skills for daily life or future jobs.
As future teachers, we must implement an alternative assessment to contribute to educational changes in order to support students in discovering their skills, not only the ones that the educational system demands.
But in the same way, we were aware that our educational system is characterized by standards tests. And according to this aspect, it is necessary to complement the learning process with the traditional assessment.
In short, the two types of assessment are integral and complement each other, and it is important to innovate and include the alternative assessment in the traditional way to combine it and achieve huge changes.